Hello, welcome back to session 2 of Pulp Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep, enhanced for your audio experience by our friends at Sirenscape, and also we are supported by our lovely friends at Chaosium this week. We're going to have a special giveaway of a Call of Cthulhu starter set PDF that they have provided us. We're going to do that over the next few weeks. We're going to have some giveaways from them. So thank you very much to Sirenscape and Chaosium for your support on these streams. Before we get started, we'll do the little round table where everybody can introduce themselves, who they're playing, remind everybody who they are in this game, and also they can talk about anything they got going on that they want to plug. So I will start on the overlay on the far left with Pete.
Hi, I'm Pete, aka Garblag, and I'm playing Elsie Ashford, who is an international cricketer who, unfortunately, on the last tour of Australia, severely hurt his leg and is taking a bit of time off to see the world, explore, and see what's going on in Peru. There's something very interesting going on, and it's piqued his interest. And going on right now, I have a Kickstarter. Dodeca. Or how did you say it, Matt, earlier on?
I don't know.
Dodeca!
Where are those dodecas?
It's a D12 based role playing game of adventuring through grim dark worlds. And thank you to everyone who has pledged so far. We are funded, which is fantastic. We've got 8 or 9 days yet to go at time of recording. So please head over and check that out. I think I can put a link in the chat right now. And on Thursday, I'll be putting up a couple of stretch goals that we can hopefully head towards. But yeah, so thank you everyone who's pledged, and go and check it out if you haven't already.
Yes, very good. We plugged you on Jeff's stream last night as well for people to go check out.
Yeah. That's exactly how we said it too.
Speaking of Jeff, why don't you tell us about... Oh, I've got you in Gwen's spot. While I fix that, why don't you tell us about Louis? And I'm going to fix my overlay now that I noticed that.
Sure. So yeah, I'm playing Louis Salvatore, who is he's from Flushing, New York. He's a private investigator. He may or may not have some mob ties. Doesn't really have a family that cares for him, and left New York, not so much because he was interested in what's down here in Peru, but more because maybe it would be good for him not to be in New York for the next few weeks, as certain things are being looked at, and a light might get shined on him that he doesn't want it to be too bright. So that's Louis Salvatore, and he always looks like he's always looked like he's in a fight. He's always looks like, so as I like to think that he's always got like a healing cut somewhere, and like his he's got black eyes that are like yellowing from the brown, from the bruising, is like slightly healed. So it always looks like he was in a fight like 2 or 3 days ago. So that's Louis. Yeah.
Just like
He's
Jeff
smarter.
in real life.
Yeah, it is. I have to put so much makeup on before we go live on streams, just so it doesn't look like, so I can look presentable. Yeah.
All right. All right. Calum, tell us about Jade.
I am Calum from the Rollist podcast and the RPG Academy, and I recently released a RPG Academy film studies dedicated to Black Cat, White Cat, which is a former Yugoslavian movie, and we reviewed it through the lens of tabletop RPG. And if you want to find out what proper use you could make of a lot of geese in a tabletop role-playing game, that's where you can find that information. But none of this tonight. As far as I know, there won't be any geese in Peru for us, but I will be playing Jaden Wallace Hall, a very elegant homme fatale who traveled to Peru in hope to find some distraction, which he didn't find at first, and decided to join this expedition as he was fleeing the worst, the most dreadful of all things, boredom. And so far, things are going pretty well because he met a very charming gentleman last week who happens to even have a fake identity and a past of some kind. Jaden is very excited to get closer to Mr. Jackson Alias, but don't tell anyone that's his real name.
That's right. Yes, thank you. You remember that. He is not
Oh, I remember.
he is not who he
I
appears
remember
to.
my charm roll at the end of the session.
That's right. We're gonna flip flop here because I had Megan and Jeff mixed up in the wrong spot. So Megan, what do you got going on? And can you tell us about Gwen, please?
Absolutely. So I play the slightly eccentric Gwen Murphy, artist extraordinaire of some renown, but not much. Much more in her head than in actuality, for sure. I forgot to mention last week that every day, Gwen, her beret matches her outfit. So this week, or today, it is a beautiful brown and green ensemble. But she decided to leave New York because, being an artist and being in that scene, she needed to have a little bit of a break, a little bit of sun. So off she went on an adventure, for sure. Yep. I don't have anything to plug other than I told last week that we dug into our basement and found like over 200 board games. And so our family has pledged through this crazy COVID-ness to play a different one every week. So last week we played Mad, and this week, very exciting, we're playing Stock Ticker, the good Canadian favorite, where we get to find out one of our family members has the best financial knowledge. Should be really.
Yes, the great Canadian favorite, Stock Ticker, the board game.
Yep.
That's good. All right. Thank you, Megan. And Tintin the Vampire. Ben.
I'm not even going to deny it anymore. It's not worth it. You know what? Maybe I am a vampire, but if I am, I'm really good at hiding it. I'd flick my hair, but I can't flick anything. Hi, yes, I'm Ben, and I am playing Quentin Aloysius Goff, the Viscount, a gentleman scholar interested in history, anthropology, and also a natural linguist who can very quickly work out what's going on in a number of ancient languages, but doesn't have a clue what's going on in this one.
Yeah.
Tintin quite firmly believes that there's a lot of stuff and nonsense going on and superstition happening, and that I'm sure there's probably a perfectly rational explanation for it all. But he also wants to follow in the footsteps of his now dead grandfather, who was an explorer in Victorian times. Obviously, the last great era of exploration. There's nothing left to find out anymore. But he wishes to be an explorer just like his granddad.
Or so he thinks. Now he's on the trail of Peruvian vampires.
I also don't have anything
cousins.
particular to plug at the minute, but hopefully next week.
Next week, yes. All right, I do have something to plug this week as well. I launched a zine today, part of Zine Quest. It is by the name of Kill Today, Die Tomorrow. It is a homage to spaghetti western cinema. So it's a rules light RPG available right now. Launched today. We're at about 70% funded from earlier today. So if it interests you, please jump on and back it. I would be very, very, very grateful. I don't know. Do I have linking powers in the chat here? I'll link it. No, I don't.
I'll link it for you.
Perfect. Thank you. And please check it out. It's almost funded here on the first day, and then it'll be reality. So thank you very much to everybody who's backed that project so far. I'm very, very grateful.
It's very cool. You got some cool artwork in there, haven't you?
Thank you. I've got the great Ken Duque doing the art, and Ray Frendon is doing all the interior illustrations for me. So I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to have the team that I have on board with that.
Here it comes.
Can run the game for you? Yeah, I'll add some more to so people can run the game. Thank you so much, Pete. All right, so before we get into the recap and what happened last week, we have some housekeeping to do. So at the end of every session, something you're supposed to do is the investigator development phase, and that's where you have the opportunity to increase your skills that you used in that session that you successfully rolled. You'll notice next to all your skills, the ones that you were successful at on tests should be lit up, or there's a little check mark or something next to them. So that's where you now have the opportunity to increase those skills. The way that works is you roll a D100 for each skill test or check that has a little mark next to it. And if your result is higher than the skill itself that it's currently at, you get to roll a D10 and add the result onto that skill. So basically, you roll the skills that you succeeded at last week.
Mm-hmm.
If it's higher than the current result or the current number, you roll D10 and add that onto that skill. So let's do that now. After the session as well, last week, Jeff reminded me that you can push rolls in this game, so that is an option. If you fail something, you can push a roll, but it is outlined in the Keeper's Guide that if you do push a roll and you fail, it is going to be bad results. So keep that in mind when you want to push a roll or not.
Also, we're doing a giveaway today, aren't we?
We are. Thank you, Pete. We're doing a giveaway. We are giving away a Call of Cthulhu starter set PDF, thanks to Chaosium. And we're going to do that around the halfway mark. Is that right, Pete?
Yes. We will be doing a hashtag to put in the chat, and the Nightbot will be picking one lucky winner from everyone who enters. So hang around. We'll give you a special... Matt will tell you a special word. I'll punch it into Nightbot, and then you guys can punch it into the chat, and we'll see who wins.
Gotta watch the time and think of a special word. All right. So, as we're doing that, everybody got on the skills. We didn't make a lot of skill rolls last week.
Spot hidden was the one I did.
If that had been any other skill.
Spot hidden is when LC noticed that Larkin smelled like
hidden.
rotting meat.
I failed, so I...
You want to roll higher.
So
So this is one that you
exactly.
you want to fail.
So now I roll a d10
Yes.
at that.
So the other thing, Matt, is that there are bonus die too, right? Because I have a spot hidden keen vision thing where I could roll a bonus die with spot hidden checks. That's like an extra d10.
And that replaces the tens die, not the one. So there's penalties and there are bonuses that will come up from time. Penalty is also that you roll an additional tens die and you take the worse of the two results.
Yeah.
Bonuses, you take the better of the two results.
Perfect.
So I then rolled a 6, so my spot hidden goes up by 6%.
Correct.
Wow.
All right.
So it's good, because the better you are at something, the less likely you are to learn anything new. But when you're really crap, if you passed a roll on it, then you get to learn something. So I like that.
Exactly. I like that about this system, and I know a lot of my players did as well when we played it previously. I thought it was neat how it encourages you to use skills that you're not good at and you want to succeed because you're going to have a better chance of then improving and learning from that experience thematically the way that the game's made.
So I unmuted myself because what I was saying in the background was I rolled charm above charm and I raised it from 1d10 of 4. So I'm at 64 in charm now.
Very good. Oh, 64. Holy moly. All right. The other thing, though, we're going to do is luck recovery. So at the beginning of every session, you also get to roll to increase your luck and recover your luck because it's encouraged that you spend luck throughout the game to make your rolls better, succeed, maybe decrease stress that or sanity, I should say, that you've encountered. So this one's a little bit more complicated. I'm going to read it to all of us. It's a little tricky, the wording. So at the start of each session, each player makes a luck recovery roll. This is rolled in the same way as for normal skill improvements. So you roll a D100. If the roll is higher than your current luck score, they add 2d10 plus 10 points to their luck score. If the roll is equal to or lesser, 1d10 plus 5. So roll it, tell me if it's high or low, and then we'll go from there. And this is Pulp Cthulhu rules. So these are not standard Call of Cthulhu rules. That's why you get so much luck at the beginning of every session. And that's why previously I had players who were sitting at like 99 at all times. So they wouldn't spend it, and that's the maximum you can have. So they're just kind of always sitting at max luck for their characters.
Oh, my luck's 85 and I rolled a 97.
So if it's higher than your current luck score, 2d10 plus 10.
Mine's 25 on the roll and my luck is 44.
So you rolled under, so you roll 1d10 plus 5, and that's how many luck you gain.
And it can only go up to 99, right?
Correct.
Okay. My luck.
Chat, while we're doing this, can you hear like faint music playing? I'm curious. I have it really, really low on my end, but you should be able to hear the Sirenscape music this session. I turned it up. You'll have to let me know if it's too loud on the stream.
I don't hear
Perfect.
it anymore, actually. Oh, I think I turned it off.
Oh, wait, yours disconnected. It shows on here.
I don't want to
Okay.
play without the sweet sounds of Sirenscape. How can anyone
All right, it's
deprive
reconnecting. Is it
themselves
too?
from that?
Is that volume that it's at right now, Chad? Is that too loud, or is that all right? It's just kind of like ambient sound.
This feels fine.
This feels fine. Perfect. Oh, the original level is good. Ooh. Okay, I'll turn it down slightly. This was the music that was playing in the bar when they met the 3 NPCs last week. This was the background sounds that were going on. So we're just replaying that as we do our little bit of pre-game checkups. All right, so that's everything. That's all the bookkeeping that we need to do from last week and for this week. So now we can get into the session. So, Masks of Nyarlathotep. What happened? We made our characters last week, and you all replied to an ad in the paper from whatever city you were in at the time, and it was for a ancient pyramid search in Peru. And they were looking for people to go on this expedition. And all of you answered this ad in the paper. To go to Lima, meet up with one Augustus Larkin, who is planning to go to the southern highlands of Peru to uncover a long-forgotten pyramid and possibly the treasures hidden within. So all you made your way to Lima, in various ways, planes and boats. Nobody took trains. And you met up with Larkin and 2 of his associates, a Mr. Jesse Hughes and a Luis de Mendoza. You met up with them in the Bar Cardona. And it was there that Larkin, the one who was sending you on this expedition, revealed what it was and why he's looking for folks to go. He told a story that he encountered a farmer in the highlands of Peru whose grandfather had found a pyramid, and within that pyramid he had found a couple of artifacts. There was a cup, and what was the other item? Do you remember, Tintin? You picked up on it, Quentin.
I remember that there was a 1,000-year difference between the cup
Yes.
and the other thing.
It was a necklace.
I think it was like a little statue or something.
Yeah, it was holding 2 rods.
Yeah.
And you picked up on the fact, because so he said these were found. This farmer claims to have found them at this pyramid, at this ancient dig site, and you picked up right away, like, that's odd that these would come from the same place. There's centuries.
He was like,
between
no.
these two
I'm
artifacts."
like, dude, you were the one that asked an anthropologist and historian to come on this little quest.
Yes.
What did you expect?
So that poked some holes in his theory, or in his little quest here. But you were polite and you moved on, even though you're like, something's not.
I may
adding
not
here.
have said dude.
Dude. Dude, seriously, these are not from the same place. Also, Jesse Hughes also brought up lore about vampires, Carisi as they're called, that the locals in that area are superstitious of. And that kind of agitated Larkin as well. The other thing is with Jesse Hughes is that De Mendoza, the other gentleman that was with him, stared at him almost with contempt the whole time. He wouldn't take his eyes off of Jesse Hughes. But there was talk of these vampires, and that also agitated Larkin during the dinner conversation. What other information do we get out of him? We're gonna have trucks arrive in 5 days' time to take you to the next leg of the journey. You are free to look around Peru.
Wrote down
He had a
death
horrible
cult.
stench.
He had a horrible stench. When you helped him put Larkin's coat on, you noticed he had a horrible stench. And I think it was Louis noticed
track marks.
Track marks, and he was going through opiate withdrawals.
Right.
Wanted to go home to bed early.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was going to the library tomorrow, wasn't I, to speak to a professor who knows these things.
That's right. That's right. That's when you were left then with Jesse Hughes, who revealed he is actually Jackson Elias, a very famous author who has written quite a few books on, well, I don't want to say cults or things like that, but like secret societies and such around the world. He goes, he finds out about these things, and he uncovers the truth about them, where there's usually some sort of superstition or folklore things. People think things are supernatural. He finds the truth, and he finds that these are, there's explanations to everything out there. And he came down to Peru after he read about these Carisi, these vampires, and he believes that they are somehow tied, or people are taking advantage of the folklore of the locals, who talk about these white vampires. They say they date back to the conquistadors that came over from Europe, and that's what these things are. So he lets you in on that. He lets you in that he's not buying what Larkin's selling. He's been told that, or has a hunch, that Larkin and De Mendoza are somehow tied to this death cult surrounding these vampires, and he wants to get to the bottom of it. And he also told you about the professor at the local university that he's been in contact with, who wants to go on this expedition, but Larkin will not take him. And he's an expert on the area and these antiquities. And he let you know that he was going to meet him on Saturday. It's currently Friday, so the next day you can go to the university and speak with him and maybe uncover a little bit more about Larkin and this whole situation. Did I miss anything?
I was about to set up a 5-day cricket test with the Peruvian locals.
Yes.
The first England-Peru, test cricket match.
Sure. You're going to spread cricket to South America. LC is the origin of any cricket that goes on down there from here on out. You start a little cricket club down there. I'm fine with that.
How did the evening ended for me and Mr. Hughes? Did he walk me back to my hotel? I mean, not going too far, but how much of a gentleman was he after that drink?
I'm going to say, unless you decide to do other things, you're going to leave roughly around the same time. You're all staying at the same hotel, so you all head back in the same direction.
Larkin and Hughes were staying at another hotel?
They're staying at Hotel España, and you were put up at a different hotel.
About what time would you say we left?
You left around 10 p.m.
So early? Okay.
Yeah. Because the other two excused themselves quite early. I'd say around 7 p.m. the other two excused themselves.
Would it be all right to say that Louis stayed out a little later?
Sure.
And wandered around, probably did some poking around about like opium dens and drug trade in the area. Once he's working on a theory that these aren't vampire death cults, but just like, it's probably drug fields or something, and everyone's just losing their minds over this nonsense.
Sure, yeah. You
just
can
get
start
the lay of the land.
Yeah. You can start kind of like asking around. You know the rough parts of town. You see them. The problem, though, for you is, do you speak Spanish?
I have 1 point in Latin. That's the closest thing I got.
Primarily at this year, 1921, most folks speak Spanish in Peru. The majority of them. You can find the odd English speaker, but you are the minority here. It is an uncommon sight to see a white person walking around here from North America's or Europe. You stand out like a sore thumb, and it's not very easy to converse with the locals.
Okay.
You can ask around. We can do a roll. We can do like a hard roll or an extreme roll. You never say no.
What kind of roll you want me to give it a try here?
I'm just looking over it right now. What would be our best one here? What are you really good at?
Shooting people.
Yeah.
Intimidation, spotting hidden, psychology, strangely enough.
Do spot hidden for me, but make it a hard roll. So
Okay.
there's the slider, I think, that comes up, and there's hard, and then extreme is the lowest
So
one.
I also do get a bonus die for spot hidden rolls.
Very good.
Does that still apply on even on the hard
Yeah, go
difficulty?
ahead and just roll an additional d10. Unless,
So
is there a prompt on there that lets you add it?
Yeah, it does actually. There we go. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Really nice.
Boundary.
That's a pass.
29. On a hard difficulty. Very good. Very good. You find a Spanish-English dictionary hidden in the gutter. Yes. So you start asking around. You meet up with some sailors who are from the Americas, and you start asking around where you can find a good time and find this and find that, and they point you in the direction of a local outfit where you can get some opiates and whatever drugs or whatever else you're looking for.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, I'm obviously I would need to dabble slightly, but more it's about just understanding the trade because I saw the Larkin, because I saw with Larkin, wondering if this is something that might come up later on, just to kind of be prepared.
You've got the lay of the land, and you've figured out who the players are here in the city. How about that? You know where to go if you need to. You figured out like there's like one of 3 sources where he's getting his heroin from.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for? Or does that along
that's
the
exactly
list?
That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah.
Perfect. Anybody else want to do anything else other than head back to the hotel with the rest of the group?
A hot bath and a comfy bed is all I'm after.
All right.
Off to bed.
Get that.
Sorry, Foundry's kicked me out, and I can't seem to get back in.
Oh my. Is it working for everybody else currently?
Seems to be.
Yep. Yeah.
I think
Works
it
fine
thinks
for
I'm still in there. I don't know if you can kick me out, Matt, so I can. Sorry.
I don't.
Just suddenly dropped me out for some reason.
I don't know how to kick you out. Jeff, is there a way to kick Pete out?
Like right-clicking on the players list on the bottom left, and is there a way to? I know you can take away a character from somebody. I don't know if you can.
I can kick player. Do you want me to kick you, Pete?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, kick me.
Oops, who did I just kick? I kicked Ben. Oh no, this has gone horribly wrong. All right, now
He's
Pete's
mad
been
with
kicked.
power.
All right, Pete's kicked now, but he's still showing in game. Ben, let me.
Is he drunk on power or is it butter shots?
Can you get back in, Ben?
I'm in, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Pete, you're still showing on that list. I don't know if you just need to close all your browsers or what and reopen them.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So then we'll say that Gwen and Jaden and Jesse and Elsie and Quentin all head back roughly around the same time. You all had a lovely evening together. You've had maybe quite too many drinks. Maybe you took advantage of Larkin saying, if you need supplies, they're on him, and you ran up the bar tab tonight at the Bar Cardona. And that's up to you. So we want to fast forward to the next day. Or is there anything else you want to do this evening? Any investigating, punching, kicking, shooting?
I think there's been a lot of drinking of rum.
Cricketing.
And off to bed.
Very good, very good. All right, so the next day you wake up, you're all feeling a little rough in the morning. Your appointment is for 2 p.m. at the university, specifically the Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology at the National University of San Marcos. So you can either find your own way there and do whatever you will during the day, or you can all kind of head over as a group, all of you, including Jackson Elias. He is the one who has already made a connection with the professor that you're meeting there, Professor Sanchez. It's up to you. Does anybody want to do anything the next day prior to heading out?
So Jackson Elias comes to our hotel to fetch us?
He's also staying there. So I'll say
okay.
half an hour before your meeting, he's informed you all he'll be waiting in the lobby, and you can head over there together. He can take you to the university and introduce you to the professor.
Okay. Yeah, I would show up looking fabulous.
He's pleased to see you again. He agrees. Hey, that was a great time last night.
It was lovely indeed. Wearing a white suit and again my sort of beanie hat with my curly hair overflowing under it. Are we having breakfast before we go, or are we going right away?
We gotta head right away. We gotta meet up with him. I believe him and his assistant are set to meet us. I got word from Professor Sanchez that they have they found some details relating to these pyramids that we're supposed to be heading to.
How did you get acquainted to that gentleman?
I actually uncovered his name while I was in the south, uncovering details and leads about this pyramid. Some of the local people there let me know that he's from the university and that he's been in the area doing anthropological studies.
The south of Peru or the American south?
South of Peru, where we're supposed to be headed with Larkin.
I shall appear with a piece of toast in my mouth and a leather satchel in my hand.
Very good. Very
Right,
good.
Splendid. Are we off? Ready to go? Oh, morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Louis gets up. He was sleeping on the bench in the lobby and dusts himself off, is in the same basic clothes that he was on before, but it may or may not be the same hat, and appears ready to go.
The stench emanating off of Louis.
Just a little.
And Elsie strides in from outside with a cricket bat on his shoulder and some locals in tow who he's been teaching how to play.
A gentleman would never carry it over his shoulder. It always gets tucked under the arm.
Tucked under the arm.
Oh.
Absolutely.
See, I know
cricket bat under that side and a newspaper under that one. That young chap has got a pretty good arm. Not a bad defensive stroke either. Are we all ready? Are we?
Oh, are you coming to the university as well? Splendid.
Well, there's not a lot else to do around here, and I think we're stopping for tea anyway. So I might as well come with you.
Splendid.
Gwen, you head on down and join the rest of the crew.
I'm gonna make them wait a little bit, like
Ah.
20, 25. I'm gonna stride down, make an entrance down again, matching beret and pantsuit, drastically overdressed for the weather outside and shockingly pale. So I'm looking to get a little sunburn today. So I come down. Morning, gentlemen. Are we off for our adventure today?
Miss Murphy?
Oh, call me Gwen. Jeez. We broke bread and drank rum together. We're practically related.
Yeah. All right.
It's in my family tree in my head, all going.
Jackson's been watching the clock, going like, "Where's the other? Where's Gwen? Where's Gwen? Where has she been?" And you finally appear. He's like, "Okay, we got it. Let's get a cab and let's go. We're gonna be late for our appointment." I was gonna say, who's the vampire now? So you guys easily hail a cab. Jackson actually speaks very fluent Spanish. He gives directions to the taxi driver. You all arrive on time. Well, actually, fashionably late thanks to Gwendolyn. You arrive at the university. Like I said, the National University of San Marcos. It is actually one of the oldest universities in all of North America. And it is a big, great, sprawling campus. He shows you to a building where you're supposed to meet the professor. It's a long, two-story stone building painted in dark yellow and fronted by a small park. There's big wooden doors that he swings open.
Just a moment before we go in.
Oh, yes.
I'll go into my satchel and pull out my university robes and put them on.
Okay. He Jackson Lyons kind of looks at you oddly, like, is that necessary?
Well, I don't want to stand out.
I think you're going to stand out wearing those.
But surely this is a university.
Yeah, they don't
Maybe
dress
they
like
follow a different tradition, I mean, maybe they will be happy to welcome a foreign. What's the word really? What are these for? I point at
These odd things. This is from when I did a stint at Cambridge on the lecture circuit. Nothing too exciting.
Talk amongst. Sorry, I'm rating us from Free League's channel. Talk amongst yourselves as you talk about universities. Don't mind me.
Yes, I did a short stint on diasporic descent in African nations. It must have been 10, 15 years ago now, shortly after I'd finished my second PhD.
Very good.
You're the first person from Cambridge I meet. Usually, I meet much more people from Oxford.
Well, you know, that they do
We
tend to
don't,
get
we
about
don't talk
more.
about Oxford.
Oh, are you a Cambridge man, Elsie?
Oh, yes, yes.
All right.
Jolly good, jolly good.
Jesse is thoroughly confused, being from America, has no idea what the two of you are talking about, and says, "All right, we're late. Let's go. Let's head inside. Professor Sanchez is waiting for us." And he opens the door for all of you, and there's a big, giant hallway, stone floor, doors lining either side of the hallway. Because it's just the first one on the left. I'll be right in there. He motions to that door as he holds the door open for all of you.
Well,
I'll stride purposefully in. This is my place. These are my people.
Sure.
I feel more at home here than in the bar or the hotel or the whole of the rest of Argentina or on the boat or in England or...
It's very warm. All the windows are open. You're very hot in your robe right now, but you dare not take your robe off, being in a university.
No.
So you go into the first door on the left, as instructed by Jackson Elias, and in there you see a man. He's very slim, quite dapper. He's got neatly oiled hair that's been well groomed and slicked back. He's got a well groomed beard. He's wearing glasses, and is wearing a suit. He's not wearing a robe, and he's in an office, and it's a little bit little warm in here. There's a ceiling fan that's whirling above. A window is open on the far corner, and the room is covered with white walls and shelves full of books and artifacts all around. And there's a large hardwood desk that dominates the middle of the room, piled high with papers and books and journals. They're almost spilling out all over the place. It looks like utter chaos to you, Quentin. And he sees the group of you, and he kind of looks up, and he's a little confused at first. Then he sees Jackson behind all of you, and he, oh, welcome. He speaks English. He speaks English quite well. It's a little bit broken. It's obviously not his first language, but he is able to greet and communicate with all of you. Oh, welcome, I'm Professor Sanchez, and he holds out his hand to shake all of your hands as you come into the room.
Take you by the hand, Professor Sanchez. Quentin Goff.
Oh, very good to meet
Cambridge.
you, Quentin. Thank you for coming. I take it you're all the party members who are going on the expedition down to the pyramid with Larkin?
Yes, party is the word. Children Wallace Hall, pleased to meet you, and I softly shake his hand.
Sure. He shakes your hand back.
I'll double grasp his hand, shake it vigorously. Gwen Murphy, you may have heard of me. Toss a little bit.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Murphy. I'm terribly sorry. I haven't heard. I'm not familiar with you. Are you well known up in the Americas?
I am indeed. If you haven't heard of me yet, you soon will.
Oh, very good. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. He says, my one of my students, Trinidad Rizzo, she's here as well. She's down in the storeroom. We've made a breakthrough. We believe there's an artifact down there that's tied to a translation that she's working on currently, or the two of us are working on. She's just down there getting some details. She should be back shortly, and then she can kind of fill us all in on what's going on. But in the meantime, what has happened with Larkin? What's going on? I understand from Jackson that you all met last night. What was discussed? What's the plan? I want to go on this damn expedition, but he won't take me.
Oh, quite. I'm very excited to be here. Looks fascinating. What can you tell us? What? I'm told that it was you who came by the artifacts that he showed us last night.
No, but I've seen them. He came to the university looking for information, and I volunteered my services to go down there with him, and he won't take me. I think he is just another foreigner looking to get rich off of the history of my country. There are no laws here in Peru stopping you from the exportation of such artifacts, and I believe that's why he won't take me. He's just here to thieve and take the history away from here. It should be here. It should be studied.
Absolutely, that's the purpose of history. After all, I'm afraid his dating is somewhat off. To be honest, he missed a 1,000-year gap between the two artifacts that we were shown. But obviously, he's not a trained scholar like we are. I can assure you that I would not wish to be party to any kind of cultural theft. I'm British.
Well, it's
irony.
truly a pity that you cannot join us. And to be honest, while I'm thankful for the low standards or the weird standards of Mr. Larkin, which allow me to join and not yourself, I agree with some things that Tintin here was saying. I wouldn't take it kindly to be, an accomplice in an act of theft. While we are part of this expedition, would you have any advice on how we could make sure that that does not happen if we see anything wrong going on? And if the law is not on the side of the people of this beautiful country, what can we do?
Well, sadly, there's not much we can do other than taking it from under his nose and where it actually belongs, here in a museum somewhere. It just, if this find is what he claims it to be, like, this could uncover things dating back to the first conquistadors coming to Peru. We have a document dating from the mid-16th century, written by one of these conquistadors, Gasper Figueroa, and that's what myself and my student are working on translating right now. Speaking of which, she's been gone for quite some time. Would you maybe mind going and checking on her down in the storeroom and ensuring everything's okay?
Yeah, I could do that. This is the whole time I've just been like fiddling around with whatever's on his shelves and stuff, completely out of my element. And like, yeah, I can go run an errand.
Okay, it's just down the stairs outside my door. Straight down the stairs. It's a little dark down there. It's underneath my office. The lights should be on. Like I said, her name is Trinidad Rizzo. You can just go check on her and make sure everything's all right. She shouldn't be taking this long.
Yeah, okay. All right, no reason to get upset. We'll be fine. We'll be back in a minute.
I'm going to pull out a little notebook and say, now, you say that you have records dating back to the 16th century.
Yes, I do.
Now, I was dating the artifacts that we were shown yesterday, and as near as I can tell, one of them actually dates all the way back to the 5th, which would predate the conquistadors by 1,100 years almost.
Interesting. He just like leans forward on his table, his arms down. He leans into and is like looking at your book that you've got your notes in.
Yeah. So I'll try and sketch out the a sort of rough version of the statuette that he had.
Sure. And for your, I don't know if you took notes on the other one is from the 1860s. No, the other one wasn't the 1860s. One was from the 15th century, and the other one was what was it? 100
5th
years.
century, I
5th
think
century.
you said.
As he's showing that, Jaden is sitting on the big strong wood desk.
Sure.
To have a better look with the two of them somewhat languidly.
Okay.
I'm sure Miss Murphy could probably do the subject much greater justice than I. I'm a humble academic, after all. I don't have the eye of an artiste. But yes, there was a statuette of a gentleman holding spears or sticks of some kind, either symbolic, possible drumsticks used in some kind of ritual praxis.
Interesting.
It seems unusual to have double spears, since obviously, unless it were a ceremonial artifact, 2 spears would be unwieldy for even the most militarily inclined of individuals.
He's thoroughly like engaged and just like eating. He pulls out his own notebook and he's making notes and you don't say. And he's like copying your sketch that you're doing in your book. We'll cut over to Louis. Is anybody else going with Louis down to the storeroom to check on the student?
I'll go down with them. I mumble under my breath. This is single-handedly the most boring room I've ever been in.
All right.
And then in the hallway, you and me both. Oh my goodness.
Right?
There's more books in there than I mean, in a single room. Like, what is this, a library? Ugh, good.
Stuffy. Couldn't breathe.
Ugh,
We're open.
jeez.
Oh, I feel like I'm drowning.
I can't believe this stuff is actually worth money. This is crazy. Like, why would any... Ugh, whatever. It's fine. Ugh.
It's Trinidad.
So you head on down the staircase, and it's a long, dimly lit corridor that it opens out into. It's the weekend, so it is pretty quiet around here. There aren't people milling about the universe in general, let alone down here. You do see that there is a doorway at the end of this corridor that's cracked open. You can see some light spilling out. It's not very bright light. It's quite dim. And that is the storeroom that Professor Sanchez directed you to. Let's go ahead and let's switch up the sound effects we got here, because we're going to a different scene. Storeroom.
Spidey senses are starting to tingle, man.
The old violent murder in a storeroom soundtrack.
Yeah, you hear that? All of a sudden,
You
it
hear that?
dramatically changes tone.
You hear that strange tiny piano music that sounds kind of suspenseful?
Got a rather dramatic art coming with this the sound.
Oh goodness, I didn't even see this.
Hopefully the chat can hear that ominous piano music playing as they enter the storeroom. So the storeroom itself, as you get to the door, I'm assuming you go to the door.
Sure.
It's open a crack, you open it up. You don't see or hear anyone or any movement or anything. The room itself is quite cavernous. It's long, really long. You're thinking something like 80 feet long and wide, 45 feet wide, and it is filled with evenly spaced rows of floor-to-ceiling shelves. They're covered in boxes, in artifacts, all meticulously tagged and cataloged. And there's just like lights hanging from the roof every once in a while, and it's quite shadowy and not very bright in here.
I'll call out for her. I'll just call out
Yeah.
The woman's name.
Yeah, Trinidad.
Trinidad. Is there someone in here named Trinidad? Professor what's the professor's name? I had it a second ago.
Sanchez.
Yeah, Professor Sanchez says we could find you down here. Hello? Anybody? Hello?
You call out, you don't hear anything at first, and then you, as you're kind of standing there and you look at Gwen, you hear something like kind of rustle or move in there, but no answer. Like the sound of like shoes or feet on the floor, just like abruptly, but it doesn't like continue or on.
Hello? We hear you. There's no sense in hiding. We know you're in here. I'm just gonna walk over towards the sound.
Yeah, same.
Sure. You're walking in the between the corridors of the books and antiques and boxes and everything in there. And as you're doing so, you're kind of like your eyes dart side to side. The shadows almost seem like they're playing tricks on you. You're a little creeped out. You don't want to admit it, but you know it's a little creepy. It's a little eerie down here, especially with that ominous piano music going off.
Must be a music department somewhere.
Yeah. And you're walking through, and as you're walking, you're kind of looking at one another. You're looking around. You're taking stock. You pass by like artifacts of like stone masks that are making weird, bizarre faces at you. Or there's ones with like horns. They're sticking their tongue out, and again, the shadows seem to play tricks on you. And as you get further and further in, you do see up ahead what appears to be a body of what appears to be a woman laying on the floor here in the room, half buried under a pile of artifacts.
I'll rush up.
Yeah.
Dashing hero that Louis is.
You rush over.
You all right? You all right, ma'am? Hello?
You get over there and you see that she's covered in all sorts of papers and artifacts, and you kind of brush them aside. And as soon as you see her face, she appears to be almost like mummified. Like it looks like the all of the liquid or water or whatever has been sucked out of her body. Her cheeks are all sunken in. She's very pale. And you notice as well a large disc of torn, bloody flesh on her upper chest.
Gwen, What the? And I'll look around. I'll immediately look around for like, is there anybody here? I'll be like, hello, help! We need some help here.
I'm gonna get both of you to make me a sanity roll, please.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Get our first sanity loss, maybe our first bout of madness.
Do we have should like the daily like, you know how it has the slash like something at a 99? Like, do we have a starting sanity? You know what I mean?
We did, and I don't remember off the top of my head how it was calculated.
Okay.
Was that one of the
Mine
ones
just
that was
says
not
50.
calculated correctly because we were using
Thank
Pulp
you.
and this was based off the
Is
main
that
one?
what it was?
I can find it here what your sanity's supposed to do.
Could be, because I can't make out why it would be 70 unless it's based off of power.
It's 70 here also.
Yeah, I'm at 40 is my starting, if that matters.
What's your power, Jeff?
My power is 50.
Okay.
My power is 70 and I have 70.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. I've got 60.
Okay.
Mine's 60.
Matches my power as well.
All right, I'll just change that then.
Okay. Did who passed? Who failed?
Louis failed.
Louis failed. Gwen,
How do
how did you do?
How do I know if I passed or failed?
You want to roll under the number.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm
You-
good.
You passed? All right. Louis, you take 1 point of sanity damage. Kind of, you're standing there, you're shocked when you see this like disc of flesh that's been. It's a like I said, it's a perfect circle of flesh. It doesn't look like she's been like gnawed on or something like that, or torn off or cut. It's a like perfect circle that's been removed from her chest. And you
Yeah.
kind of step back and you're in
Yeah,
a little bit of
I'll
shock.
like stumble back probably. I'll like stumble back. Stuff will go flying out of my pockets, and I'll be like, "What the? What? Is this some kind of joke down here? What the hell's going on?"
You're calling out for help. As you're calling out for help, and Louis kind of trying to keep together. Gwen, you're fine. You're looking around the room. You can hear, and you hear footsteps like at the far end of the room where you came in, like exit.
Oh. Louis, did you hear that? There's
Yeah.
something else in this room with us.
Hey, you better show yourself. I got a gun. You better come out here right now.
He does, you know, he's not lying or anything.
I forgot to ask, did you guys buy weapons?
Louis don't go nowhere without his
Okay.
sight on.
I hope you all have weapons. Lying next to her, you kind of glance back at her. You notice that there's a notebook poking out of her jacket pocket, and there's also a small wooden crate that's been smashed to pieces lying beside her. And you see in the remnants of the crate, packed in straw, there's a large piece of worked gold. I'll show you a picture of it here. You can see. Does that show up on your screen? It's oblong. It's kind of got some hooks and some pieces, and it's got all kinds of runes across it that you don't recognize.
I will have the gun out, hand shaking just a little bit. Might be nerves, might be hangover. I don't know. And I'll start looking around for the skittering of the other footsteps that we heard. Like, you better come out.
Sure.
I know how to use this, sorta.
While you're looking at that golden ward, I'll get both of you to make me a spot hidden roll. And the size of this thing, it's about 2 feet long, 3 inches wide, and about 1/3 of an inch deep. And both of its ends are rough, as though it's been like ripped or broken off of something larger. And it's quite heavy, though. It weighs, around 25 pounds.
I passed.
Pass.
Hold
Did
on.
you pass, Gwen?
Hold on a second. Sorry, it's just regular?
Just
Yes.
regular spot hidden, yep. All right, so both of you, as you notice this thing and you're pulling your gun and you're kind of taking in the scene, you pick up on this ward that's lying there in the straw. It looks like there almost appears to be like bits of freshly burned skin or flesh on the gold. You almost see like fingerprints imprinted on the gold, like it was burned on there.
Okay. Oh, Louis, do you see that?
Yeah, I see it, but I wanna. This Let's not look too close. There's someone else in here with us. Someone else is in here with us.
I think I'm going to sprint for the professors upstairs, to be honest.
Yeah, all right. You do that. You
And
better come out. I'm just constantly just shouting like various New York like tough language. Like, yeah. You better get out here. I've seen tougher things than you. You think this is the first body I've seen? You think this is it? No, I see it all the time.
There's no answer. You're just shouting in the darkness. Gwen, you start heading towards the stairs. You don't hear or see anything as you're doing so. It sounded like those footprints almost like were leaving the room when the two of you made it over to the body. We'll cut back to the others who were with Professor Sanchez and Jackson Elias. And you're in there and you're going over the studies. You're going over these diagrams and drawing them out. And Professor Sanchez is completely engrossed in this. As the, 1, 2, 3, 5 of you are chatting, discussing, going over this. Louis and Gwen have been gone for quite some time. Some time has passed, and Sanchez says, "What is taking them so long? Where are they? What? She was just going down there to verify some information on the translation she was doing. What do you think's keeping them?"
I don't know. What is this? What you call storeroom? Very large? Is it
No,
like?
it's
or
massive.
is
It's
it
Down
like,
a long hall.
he says, "Yeah, it's twice the size of my office. It's right
Oh,
below
right.
us."
Well, Elsie hasn't actually been looking at all the documents. He's been standing near the door, throwing his cricket ball up in the air, trying to get with his practicing his spin.
Okay.
So he kind of like, I can go and have a look if you want, see if they need help lifting something heavy.
Yeah. Maybe that might be best. Could you do that?
Sure.
Does this guy sound a bit suspicious? I find it weird that he keeps sending people in that storeroom.
Go to your death.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why don't you
One at a
also
time.
go?
No,
Something in the basement I need to
that's-
feed.
That's a good point. Why don't you do a spot hidden roll or psychology? Do a psychology roll.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I see
Oh,
in
no,
chat your
wait.
spot hidden is terrible.
No, psychology is terrible as well. Wait, isn't there something?
Elsie doesn't care. He's not even concerned
Oh.
about it. He's bored
Okay.
in this room. He's looking.
I
for
guess
an excuse
I
to-
would.
I would
would
give
go
it to
with
either
spot hidden.
psychology or spot hidden, whichever you.
I would go with spot hidden.
Okay.
Just 25.
Wow, that is low. Oh, and you succeed.
Oh,
There doesn't seem to be anything nefarious to his tone or anything like that. He almost seems like annoyed though that it's taking so long. That's why he wants to hurry it along. Like, this is something that should have been done in no time. Just going down there, grabbing an artifact, verifying something, coming back. And he seems annoyed by the whole situation. But he's also very engrossed with what Quentin is relaying to him. He's very interested in that. And it's like, can you go do this?
well, I'll just.
Sure.
Don't worry, I'll be back in a moment. I'll.
Elsie, as you're strolling out of the room and into the hallway, the main hallway here of this wing of the university, all of a sudden there is a horrendous scream from outside. You can hear a man screaming bloody murder outside on the grounds of the university. Quentin, Jaden, Jackson Elias, and Professor Sanchez, you can all run to the window and you see there's a man, it looks like a student of the university, is laying in the grass, bleeding profusely and holding the wound and screaming for help. In Spanish, if you understand Spanish. Jackson Elias says, "That man needs help!" And then Professor Sanchez goes and he runs to the phone. I'll call the police, I'll call an ambulance. What the hell is going on here? And you hear this as well, Elsie. You hear this man screaming outside, but you're in the
that's
hallway.
now behind me,
That is behind you.
effectively.
Effectively.
I'll go and see what's
It's,
still
it's
going on. with
highly
the others.
irregular for a place of learning.
It's a university.
Stabbings
There are
happen all
people
the time.
screaming and shouting all the time at universities. Come on. Well, I
See
think
what
we
the
had very
CC
different
advised.
experiences. I'll see you in a minute.
Sure, so you start heading down the stairs, and you're greeted by the same sight as Gwen and Louis, this big long hallway. But as you're kind of walking down the hallway and you're a little creeped out, the door swings all the way open, and Gwen kind of comes rushing out towards you. And you can hear Louis shouting in the other room, "Hello, I have a gun! I have a gun!
I know how to use it. I'll shoot you. I don't mind. It's okay.
Gwen,
Shoot
what's
each
going
other.
on? What's going on?
Oh my god, there's a bud, there's a hole, there's flesh, and there's gold, and there's shovel.
My God, you froze me.
She's frozen with fear.
Frozen fear.
Oh, no.
I will grab her, like, not, to try and calm her down, and then sort of go upstairs with the others. I'll see what's keeping Louis.
Sure. Oh,
And I'll
we
go
lost
into the
Megan
basement.
briefly there. How we do? Hey, we're at the halfway point. Should we do a giveaway at this point? Well,
Yeah,
Megan gets
why don't we do
her
that?
gets her Zoom back up and running. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
we can
let's
do
do a giveaway of the Call of Cthulhu starter set for one of our
Ooh,
viewers.
giveaway.
Oh,
A
let's
nice box.
yeah, let's choose a word here.
Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet.
I am not
because people
saying
will
it.
start typing it in. If you
I'll send it to you on Discord. Does that work?
Sorry.
All good.
Right,
Does
let
that
me
work,
just
Pete,
get
if I send it to you on
positioned.
Discord?
no, just once let me get in the right position,
Sure.
and once you say it, I'll just quickly type it in. So
Thank you again to Chaosium for supplying these PDF starter sets for us. We're gonna have quite a few of them to give away over the next few weeks, so keep coming back every week. If you don't win one this week, there's a chance again next week, and the following week, and the following week. We have a few, and we're gonna do one a week until we're out of them. So thank you so much, Chaosium, for supplying these and supporting the
fantastic.
stream.
The lovely people of Chaosium.
What's your word, Matt? Short and sweet.
Insane.
Okay, hashtag insane. Punch that in the chat. Oh, we've got a couple already. Here we go. Start filling it up.
It's perfect timing, Megan, for our giveaway when your Zoom kind of crapped out.
It was on purpose, of course.
Right? Thank you for reminding me.
What a
Ooh.
pro.
And sorry I had to step out earlier. I had to go and be dad for a couple of minutes.
Understandable.
That's where I went to. I don't know how long you want to wait.
No king shaming, but by saying you needed to be a dad, you meant with your child, I hope.
Yes.
All right, I think that's everybody in the chat who has entered. So let's draw a winner, Pete.
Okay, right. We've had 15 entries, it looks like. So here we go. I'm going to click it. Anybody else want to get in just before I do? No. Here we go.
Jeremy, I got a gun. I'll shoot you or whatever.
Whatever.
Martaz has won the giveaway.
Congratulations.
Martaz, all you need to do is come on the Discord, find me, Garblag, and then send me a direct message, and we will arrange for your winnings.
I see, now I'm suspicious because they already had an I won GIF ready to go. Hacked. We got hacked.
Lead. No, congratulations,
I
Montez.
think they get that.
That is awesome. So, to the others who did not win, there will be more. We're giving these away over the next few weeks, one a week, every week. So, congratulations, and thank you again to Chaosium. Shall we get back to the action now that we've had a nice little break and a giveaway? So, Gwen, Elsie, when you kind of like went away, disappeared on us, you had a little mental breakdown. Your character had a mental breakdown. He said, "Go upstairs." So I don't know if you want to listen to him or you want to go back into the room with him. That's up to you.
No, I'll definitely go back in with him. However, it'll be behind him very closely.
Okay. You can hear faint yelling coming from upstairs. It's not very clear, but it sounds like a man is like screaming and yelling in pain upstairs somewhere. Not in the building. Very, very faint. Like it's coming through a window.
Yeah, some chap outside screaming about something. But what's going on? What's going on down here?
Like pointing over your shoulder. It's over there. It's over there. By Louis. Go.
Okay, I'll walk over. I'm just kind of flipping my cricket ball, just up and down in my hand as I'm going. Louis, old chap, what's got everyone so stressed?
Louis will just completely turn on a dime, gun in hand, pointing it right at you. Whoa,
whoa!
yo, you don't sneak up on someone like that. What are you doing? I could have shot you.
I called your name as I entered the room. I thought that was the decent thing to do.
Yeah, I was concentrating. And I'll point at the body. I think there's someone else here. Someone else. We heard something skittering footsteps, but they're hiding. There's just so many shelves in here. Have I heard anyone else in here at any point?
You have not. It's like just
Okay.
been completely silent. Just the echo of your own voice and your feet on the concrete below you.
Do I get the sense that like we're alone at this point, or can I start doing a sweep or something?
No,
like
you
that?
don't even need to roll for that. Yeah, you feel like you're pretty sure you're alone at this point.
We found her. She was laying on the ground. She had stuff thrown over top of her. We came and we checked, and look at it. She looks like a freaking mummy or something. Like it's just like look. And then the thing and with the flesh and the gold. Get one of the brainiacs down here. I don't get this.
Make me
Rather
a
unpleasant.
sanity roll, please, Elsie. When you see the big fleshy disc torn out of her chest and like almost like all of the everything sucked out of her body. Oh, you passed.
I'm good.
Good for you. Good you.
I've been on cricket tours in Australia. This is nothing.
So you keep telling us. All right.
Someone saying bowl, Elsie, bowl. Oh, this is poor lady. Well, we should tend to her. I think there's some shouting upstairs. Perhaps it's linked. Perhaps we should head upstairs and see what's going on. There's no other exits to this storeroom, are there? Right.
Okay.
Right.
Should we? I mean, someone's got to watch the body. What if they always come back to the scene of the crime? Like they come back. There's stuff here.
Do you want to stay here, Louis?
No, I'm gonna go. No, I don't.
I can stay here and keep an eye on her just in case. If you want to head up with Gwen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go check out that screaming. Yeah.
Just a reminder, there is the notebook poking out of her jacket, and there's that golden rod on the floor.
I'll
So
point.
I'm gonna search the body when everyone's left.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Louis and Gwen, are you going? Or are you going to stick behind with Elsie?
No, like dead body or screaming guy outside.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stay with the dead body, to be honest.
Okay. So you're staying with Elsie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Did you want to look at that thing before we cut back?
I'm gonna have a look at her. See, move some of the other bits out of the way. See if there's any identification.
She has no identification on her. She looks like she's in her early 20s. Could easily be the student of Professor Sanchez, given her age. Again, it almost seems like all of the fat or moisture has been sucked out of her body. Her eyes are still open, staring up.
Can I just close her eyes? It's slightly disconcerting.
Sure. Yeah, you go ahead and you close her eyes. Louis did point out like the burned on almost like pieces of flesh or like fingerprints that were left on the golden rod that is lying next to her. So you don't need to make a roll for that. Do you want to touch it and see if you burn?
Kind of want to touch it.
Are you going to?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, now who's the vampire?
You touch it and it's cold to the touch. It's
Kind of
not
looking
hot.
at it, pick it up,
Mhm.
like the bits of flesh.
Like I said, it's 25 pounds. So it's at first you're kind of like, whoa, surprised by the weight of this thing because it's only so many feet long and so many inches wide. But it almost appears like this is pure gold you're holding, and hence the weight.
Holy! And the craftsmanship. Does it have any similarities to the artifacts that we saw? That
I'll let you roll it, but based off your background, this is going to be much harder for you than someone like a Quentin.
Are you sure not like an arts and crafts roll?
What kind of arts and crafts are you good at?
Oh yeah, good
Because you have to
call.
choose a specific arts and crafts.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Are they painted on?
Burnt golden rods, arts and crafts. Is that the one you're good at?
Yeah, oh, that's the one.
Ancient Mesoamerican jewelry. That's why she had to leave New York.
Yeah. Yeah, you look it over, and aside from like the size of it, looks like it's largely straight band. There are 4 sections that jut out at right angles into short little spurs or squared off spirals, and the surface is imprinted with a series of non-repeating geometric shapes, mostly squares and rectangles. But there doesn't seem to be like any obvious meaning or language or anything like that to you just looking at it. And they don't resemble any formal language that you've seen or encountered before.
Fair enough.
My study was the natural world, and I'm a big fan of rubbings. Can I do a rubbing of the
Yes.
Yes, you language
can.
on the golden thing?
Sure. Sure you can.
The dead body?
Pardon me?
Over top
No,
of
the language on the thing. Big bit of paper
the actual
and like.
Yeah.
your rubbing materials and do it over top of her body.
All right, and I'll share this with you. This is what you find in her notebook,
Ooh.
sticking out of her persons. So I'll read this to the chat. All of you can read it, but I will read this out for the folks at home because they can't see what we're looking at. So it's written in Spanish, written by Gaspar Figueroa, 1543 on vellum. Figueroa, Spaniard who had traveled to Peru with Francisco Pizarro. According to the text, Figueroa set out to seek his own fortune following Pizarro's assassination in 1541. He was accompanied by Hernando Ruiz, Diego Garrido, Luis de Mendoza, and Pedro de Velasco, fellow conquistadors who had served with Pizarro. They traveled into the southern highlands of the Andes, looking for treasure, hoping to make their fortunes before heading back to Spain and retiring in luxury. Hearing rumors of an ancient temple filled with gold, the men set off into the mountains southwest of Lake Titicaca. There they found a pyramid surrounded by a maze-like structure of underground tunnels. The walls of the tunnels were inlaid with intricate gold carvings. The men pried out a large section of the gold, exhausting themselves in the attempt. That night, as they rested, an evil sickness befell Figueroa's companions. In the morning light, they looked gaunt and deathlike. Complaining of agonizing hunger, they pursued Figueroa. De Mendoza caught up with him and started to devour him like a human leech. Figueroa shot his friend in the head and fled, pausing only to snatch up as much gold as he could carry. Figueroa eventually arrived back in Lima, hoping to get passage home, but he was too weakened by his ordeal. Figueroa describes himself as a wasted little more than a walking corpse. I read final confessions of Figueroa's attempt to lift the guilt that his avarice had placed upon him. He believed that his fate and that of his companions was brought about by the desecration of a holy place, and his most fervent wish was that he could undo the damage that he had inflicted. He describes how he can still hear his friends' voices crying out to him with inhuman hunger, and how in the dark of the night he can hear another voice, ancient, seductive, promising him eternal life if he returns to the temple. The voice told Figueroa how to contact it, but it seems Figueroa was too afraid to ever attempt this. A postscript written by the priest who performed the last rites states that Figueroa died a day after completing his final confessions. His last words were an entry to whatever gods were listening to forgive him for his blasphemies. So right away, the name of Luis de Mendoza sticks out to you. Hey, we met a fellow by that name last night. And this text seems to talk about this ward that the student was down here fetching. This piece of gold that was found near her body. Let's cut to the others. Let's cut to Jaden. Louise come up the stairs. Quentin, Jackson, and Professor Sanchez. So there's ungodly screaming coming from outside. Like I said, the window's open. You go to the window, you see there's a man rolling in the grass. Blood is just spilling out from his stomach and he's screaming, "I've been stabbed! I've been stabbed! A man with a sword just ran over and stabbed me! Please, somebody help me!" And there's people are starting to congregate around him and kind of surround him, and some people are kind of leaning down to try and give him help. But people are shouting, "Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! This man's gonna die!"
I look around for someone who seems to be running away.
Yes. Go ahead and make me a hard spot hidden roll. No, you're unable to see anybody. You're kind of just taken in by the whole scene. And, you know, it's almost like a panic and anarchy happening outside the window, and it's hard to kind of concentrate when you hear this poor man screaming for his life. There's blood just
Is there a
spilling out
telephone
everywhere.
in the room?
There is a telephone in the room, and Professor Sanchez is on it, ringing the police and an ambulance.
Okay, jolly good. Presumably the proctors will be along shortly to resolve this.
Sure. As you're standing there, and you do hear sirens pull up, an ambulance shows up. They come out with a stretcher. They start administering aid to this man. And Louis, do you want to stroll back into the office, or do you want to go outside and see what's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna run by the office, do a quick drive by, like just scream in like, Quentin, Jaden, you might want to go into the thing. Body, we found some stuff. Just go. I'm gonna keep running, and then so I'm just gonna like mumble to tell you to go downstairs or whatever it was, and I'm gonna go run outside.
Leap through the window.
Well, as I was gonna ask, is this a first story? Are we in the first?
You're on
story
the first
office?
story. Yeah, you could, and they're big, giant, huge windows.
Yeah. So I'll like walk by. I like if they need to be opened up, I'll be like, "Excuse me, pardon me, Professor," and then I'll climb out, and yeah. And I'll start looking around for, similar to what Jaden was just doing a second ago. It's like looking for anything, anyone out of the order, anyone running away, anyone like I'm a detective. Anyone around the crime scene that's looking a little fishy, a little sketchy.
For sure. Quentin,
You only just
Jaden,
got there, though.
Are you're going downstairs with the news that there's a body down there and something's happened?
You're all blurry. Quick question, sorry.
It's happened again.
I missed from just one person. I know it's a bit late on my skill check, but could I use a skill?
Yes, of course you can. You can use
luck.
a luck. Yeah, go ahead and spend a luck and succeed. So with your spot hidden, you're kind of looking around the crowd and you're kind of taking it all in. And you look and you see like around a corner of the building, a little further away, you swear you see a familiar face. You swear, like, just kind of like going around the corner, you swear you see Mendoza.
I point in this direction to the others. Say, there! It's Senor Mendoza.
And I'm going to say, this is when Louis was walking to the room,
Okay.
also kind of saying everything. So you hear this, Louis, before you leap through the window with your gun in your hand.
Well, I'll say I have the gun in the pocket.
Oh, okay. Waving a gun around a scene where a
Come
man's been
on.
stabbed.
I would know. I put the gun in the pocket. Come on.
Louis, are you happy to see me?
I mean, a little bit. And I'll,
There! Mr. Senor Mendoza.
all right, I will, and I'll climb out of the window and start chasing after where Jaden's pointing. But I'll have the gun inside. I would actually. I know enough not to wave a gun around running across the college campus.
Sure, of course, when there's police also, like, showing up and ambulances and everything in a panicked crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
No.
All right, so you leap out the window and you start running the direction that Jaden pointed out. Jaden and Quentin, do you want to stay in this room? Do you want to go down to the
I think I'm going to head downstairs.
Sure.
Whatever's going on down there.
I'm gonna try. Yeah. I'm gonna try to follow Louis.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you can follow him. So you leap out the window, and like it looks like the far side of the building. So you're running across the grounds to the other side of the building, trying to catch up to what you think you saw over there. So the others go downstairs, and you're greeted by the scene of the student who's had the fat and everything else sucked out of her.
Look at this. And I'll hand the the document.
That's how interesting.
This poor girl's been
Yes, but the name here, de
drained of all
Mendoza, that's
fluid.
the same as the chap we met last night, and Louis just gone chasing him off across the campus. We've just seen him outside.
That rat.
Now,
And Louis
what's
chasing
all
him.
the fuss down here? Oh,
Dead lady, and I'm gonna run past him up the stairs.
Just shove him aside, dead lady. Okay, I'm gonna cut as you do that. Jaden and Louis, I'm gonna cut over to you. I want you to both to make me a hard dexterity check to try and catch up to this this figure that you saw duck around the far corner of the building. Oh, very good, both of you. Or no, Louis, you failed, right?
Yeah.
Luck.
What do I need?
Spend some luck.
Oh, no.
If you click it, it actually expands and tells you how much luck you need to spend to pass. Or you could push it. I guess that's the other option.
Luck
You spent the
spent.
luck. You spent the 20 on luck. You see how easy it is to get luck at the beginning of every session. It makes it easier to spend. So Jaden is like almost like he's getting in front of you. He's on the trail, kind of like pushes you aside. You're kind of distracted by the scene, Louis, of what's going on all around you, and Louis just kind of brushes past you, and you're now keeping pace with Jaden as the two of you run around the corner. Just gonna make a roll here.
I am huffing and puffing the whole time. Like, oh god, I shouldn't have stayed up so late. Oh
Some
god.
cigarettes. Oh, look at that! The GM rolled a
Probably
1.
have a cigarette, like dangling and like flopping in the mouth as I'm running, just to be sure. Oh god. I gotta eat more vegetables.
So you go to where you thought you saw Dame Mendoza. You're convinced, Jaden, that he was there. You round the corner, and there's just nothing. It empties out into what appears to be a green space. It's a field. There's some trees. It's pretty bare. There's nobody really in it right now because everybody's gone over to where all the excitement is, over where the poor man has been, where he's claiming he was stabbed. But your gamekeeper rolled a 1 on his dice, which is a critical success. You get over there and you don't really see anything. If you want, the two of you can kind of start searching for clues while you're here. See, maybe pick up the trail of where he went. We can do that. Again, spot hidden is going to be our go-to here because you're going to be trying to see if he like left any sort of trail or tracks or any sort of evidence behind. It'll be a standard roll.
Okay.
Standard difficulty.
Pass with 3.
Oh, snap. Oh, and Jane too. The two of you
Wow.
are both on the case. The both of you are like, hey, do you see this? Do you see that? What about this over here? And Jaden points out some footprints. Like, he went this way. And you see, Louis, that there are definitely some droplets of blood in the grass.
I think
Left
he might
behind.
be hurt. I think he might be hurt. Might be I don't know.
He's
Okay.
running very fast for someone seemingly hurt.
Did you did he have a weapon on him or anything? Did he look hurt? Was he bleeding when you saw him?
No, I mean, he was quite far. I just caught a glimpse of him. I almost missed him in the crowd moving around. I was very lucky to actually see him.
Yeah. I was lucky that I didn't fall on my butt as we were chasing him. Listen, why would he be running from us? I mean, he met us last night. Why, if he saw us, why is he running? Just be careful. Like, you guys
Is it
got any
connected-
weapons on you?
No. Oh, darling, I don't have a weapon on me. But what? Maybe it's connected to what you found in that storage room. What happened there?
We found a dead
Did
woman.
you find
Is what we found. She's
a
dead.
dead woman?
Yes, a
Wa-
dead woman.
Was she bloody like the student?
Man, she was like dried like a raisin. Like she got set out in the sun for like weeks. It was no good. It was no good.
No blood.
Is what it was.
I
The
think we
blood.
should follow those tracks. Maybe that Mendoza is up to no good and might hurt other people.
Listen, we got one guy screaming because he got hurt on the outside the same building which we just found a dead woman, and we got a guy that we know was giving us the stink eye last night, and he's running from us. These are too many coincidences that connected one way or the other. So, and I'm gonna look around to see if I can find like a rock or a branch or something. Is there
Yeah.
anything on the ground? And so I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick it up.
Easily,
Like,
yeah.
here.
Find
I'm
a
gonna
large
give
rock.
I'm gonna give it to Jaden. I'm like, and if you see something, just right over the head, okay? and I'll pull the gun
Alright.
out at that point. Like,
Okay, large rock. It's like
behind
the
me.
size of your palm, Jaden. It's big, heavy rock that he handed you.
And we'll,
So we found some tracks of some kind.
Yeah.
Yes. So you start following the tracks, and it looks like they actually follow the perimeter of this building. They actually are hugging the building, and it looks like the building that you came from with the professor in it, and it's going along the outside, and it hooks around the back, and the blood trail looks like it's gone back inside the building you just came from, but from the rear of the building, not through the front entrance that you originally came through.
did we see? Did it go through like a door or
Yes.
window or anything?
It went through a door.
Okay.
Back into
Is
that
it-
big hallway. So when you enter through the doors, there's that big hallway in front of you. There's doors on either side. So it'll be the opposite end of that hallway, the opposite entrance of where you initially came in.
Okay. Does the door open? It's like
They're heavy, so it's
left
closed.
ajar.
It's closed. It's closed behind it if it was open because they're big, heavy doors.
Okay.
Elsie, you were going back upstairs.
Yes, yeah, I was going to go up the stairs because I thought there was some action going on.
Sure.
Jeff, you got a reroll.
Jeff does have a reroll because they wanted you to be able to run fast.
Oh, thanks.
So you head back upstairs. Do you want to go to the office? Do you want to go outside? What do you want to do, Elsie?
What? Can I hear anything going on? Can I hear people running or fighting or?
Not right now. You can hear
No.
kind of like muffled sounds coming from the professor's office, though.
Okay, I will go there.
Okay, you swing the door open, and you're greeted by a horrific sight. You see De Mendoza on top of Professor Sanchez. And he looks over at you, and right away you see his mouth is like a perfect circle filled with tons of tiny little teeth in it. And there's like saliva is pouring out of his big gaping mouth. Here, I'll show you a picture of what you see. See that? That's what you see. He's hanging over him. Mouth is perfectly open with rows and rows of teeth going all the way back.
Like the hole in her chest was just like zzz,
Perfect, yeah.
His mouth just kind of.
Professor Sanchez is lying there. Looks like he's been knocked out. His mouth is open, and it almost looks like there's like a large, as weird as it sounds, a big maggot that looks like it's kind of like making its way outside of Mendoza's mouth as he turns and looks at you. Go ahead and make
I
me
was
a
okay
sanity
up
roll.
until that moment. I hate maggots.
Oh, sorry. It's
It's all right. No, it's fine.
it's a
Here we
piece
go.
of birthday cake. What did you pass your
no,
sanity
fine.
roll?
I'm fine. I passed.
Okay, very
Hey,
good.
he's getting a cricket ball in the face. I'm afraid.
All right, all right.
I've just wind up and bowl.
If he catches it in that mouth, you want him on the team, really, don't you?
It's a beamer coming straight at his face.
All right. So this is a surprise round. The way combat works in Call of Cthulhu
Okay.
is the person with the highest dex score gets to go first, and it's descending order after that. If you have a readied firearm, it's your dex plus an additional 50, because that kind of represents you being ready. You have a ball ready. This thing's kind of in the process of doing something to the poor professor. So go ahead. You're going to...
I've got 90 decks anyway,
Woo!
so
Go ahead and... You're going to take your cricket bat and hit the ball at him?
no,
Is that...
no. I'm gonna bowl this thing,
Oh!
like, proper, full on,
Gotcha.
do the whole thing, and bowl it straight in his face. Here
So
you
that's like unarmed brawling is the skill, we'll say here.
I gotta throw it at him,
Okay.
ranged weapon style.
Okay. They've already given you a reroll because they want you to do it. So you rolled a 38? Is that what you... No, that was previous.
No. Oh my god! I failed.
96. Well, the chat bought you a reroll, so why don't you cash that in? And
I will.
52.
Do I do more if it's a better success?
You don't do more
Gotta spend
damage. No.
Okay. Well, okay, fine. That's fine.
Okay. So
Thanks,
you
Aaron, for the reroll. So I couldn't read your name there.
you bowl your cricket ball at him. Go ahead and roll me a d6 for damage, plus any damage bonus you have. I don't know what your strength is, but it would...
I don't.
Okay. I have 2 rerolls. Oh boy, what do I use those on?
You can make us reroll.
All right,
3
so
damage.
you
Well,
whip,
like when you roll a 1 for getting away.
you whip this ball at this thing, and it hisses this Mendoza, and all of a sudden the big worm out of its mouth starts to kind of like go back. It retreats back in, and he stands up, and it looks like what's your dex? What's your dex there?
90.
90? Ooh.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at his dex. I have him programmed in here. Apparently I don't. Your dex beats his. I have the book here. Your dex beats his. So you get to go first again. He's standing up now, staring at you, and you can see a sword at his side. Almost like a saber. Almost an antique.
Conquistador
This thing looks
style,
ancient. Yeah. This sword hanging at his side.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my trusty cricket bat.
Yes?
And I'm going to clobber him. And I'll shout as this is happening, "He's in here! He's in the professor's office!" And I will go for a two-handed chop to the neck with a cricket bat.
Jaden and Louie, you're in the hallway at the fall in the hallway, and you hear Elsie yell, "He's in here! He's in the professor's office!" And the two of you can start running down there. I'll even say it's muffled, and Gwen and Quentin can hear it in the basement. You can hear Elsie shout.
Before he gets murdered horribly.
Before he gets murdered horribly.
You arrived just in time to see it happen.
Whatever happens, I'm behind Louis. I'm like,
Oh, you don't want to go out in front this time? Okay.
I never wanted that. You got a gun. I got a stone. It's very nice, but...
All right.
Big.
So yes, your dex does beat his. I have his stats here for me. So go ahead and you can close the gap, and you can attempt to hit him with your cricket bat. So this would be a brawling roll now with your cricket bat.
Oh, I'm spending luck on that.
I was gonna say you got luck, or we have a couple rerolls in the chat that we've received throughout this this session as well.
Don't know about that. How do I?
Yeah, I think most of them went to you though, Matt, because people want to see characters die horribly in a Cthulhu game.
I don't want to kill you. Okay, go ahead. You spend your luck.
Do the luck thing.
Click on the number 83, and it'll expand the box, and then it'll like there should be 3 buttons on there. You can just click one to spend your luck, and then it should automatically take it off of your care sheet.
Equally, Matt, you can use your rerolls to make us reroll rolls that aren't good enough. Just saying.
That's fair. Aaron just gave you another 1,000, Pete.
Oh, cool. Well, I've spent the luck now.
It was only
I had
8.
99. Had 99 luck anyway. So I'm gonna run up and whack him with the cricket bat.
All right. So the way close combat works in Call of Cthulhu, the person who's getting hit in close combat has the option to try and like dodge or get out of the way. So every time that you're in close combat, you make your attack roll, and the target gets to make a dodge roll. And if they're successful, they want to roll higher than you did. No, they want a better roll than you did.
Can I spend more luck on my thing?
You can. So this is where the levels of success come in. So if you get a higher level of success, you know how there's 1 star in there and you get 2 and 3. The person with the higher level of success will win in this instance.
Boom. I spent 68 points of luck.
Holy crap, Pete. Okay.
To get a triple star.
Okay. I will roll.
I'm going for a 6.
Oh my! I rolled a 99. So this thing is still kind of dazed. Its mouth is starting to close back up into a normal mouth. You see this worm-like creature going back into its throat, and he's reaching for a sword. And you just run up and whack him with your cricket bat. Roll me a D8 for damage, please. Five. Okay.
Not quite a 6.
And what did you do on the previous one? 3? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Louis and Jaden, what are your dex scores?
80.
Holy crap. Jaden?
And 50.
50? Give yourself the plus 50, Louis, for having a firearm, or did you already on that?
Yeah, so I'd be 130. Sorry.
Holy crap. Okay, next thing you know, Louis just kind of just starts sprinting down the hallway, and you burst into the room, and you see Elsie standing there with his cricket bat, You say De Mendoza has just been struck with it. The professor's on the floor. What do you do?
Anyway, I just started blasting. So, I mean, I know what I'm chasing. I know who I'm chasing, and I immediately, if I see LC in combat, like if he's actually fighting with this thing, I will lower the gun and fire. Yeah.
Okay, there.
Not
I
at
switched the
LC.
sounds for combat now. Hence the guns.
Just
So it's
dive out of the way.
So I think I have a penalty die though, because I'm firing into melee because LC's there. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay. So let's hope I don't crit. Then I kill Pete's character and get thrown off the channel the very first time I play on it. I'm assuming -1 is the same thing. -1 bonus die is probably the same thing as penalty. So here we go. Yeah, that's good. Still good. So I need a 90, so 76.
Sure. All right. Roll your damage for your gun, please.
Yeah. What is that exactly? I couldn't find.
Let me find. I've got all the.
I was looking for that. I couldn't. I was
guns
trying to find
and
that
stats
in the
are back of
melee
book.
penalty.
What did you just have? A handgun or
It's
like
just
they have?
just a handgun. Just a handgun.
They have like literally pages and pages of handguns in here. 32, 44, 45, 45 automatic. What would you carry?
Nothing too gaudy. I
A Mauser?
Like you know, like
It's from New York, not Texas.
yeah, I mean, calm down. You know, it's,
22? No.
no, 22. What are you talking about?
What do you got? 38 revolver?
38 sounds good. Yeah, let's do 38.
All right, so that is a D10 damage.
Okay.
More than a cricket bat.
More than a cricket bat.
That doesn't seem right.
Shocker!
6
More than a speedball from one of Britain's best.
6 points. of
Derringer?
damage.
Yeah, you could have a Derringer. All right, so you open fire. A gunshot rings out behind you, Elsie. You spin around and see Louis standing there. You're like, don't shoot! And a bullet just like whizzes past you, hits its mark, and De Mendoza drops to the ground. Right as that happens, Jaden, you run into the room, rock ready in hand, and you see Mendoza fall to the ground, blood leaking out all over the floor. The professor is completely out of it. It looks like Jackson was not in the room. He had headed downstairs to go meet up with Quentin and Gwen. We'll say Gwen and Quentin and Jackson Alliance are all coming back upstairs to see this as well. The scene. There are also police outside.
His mouth is disgusting.
There are police outside who have also heard this, by the way. Sorry, Elsie.
There's it's all teeth and some sort of disgusting maggot coming out of it. Be careful. I think this is what's cutting holes in people. His
We
mouth.
believe the sounds Louis keeps shooting at it.
He's just shooting in the air. He's
I'm
so
not
happy.
sure. I just want to make sure. I'm just calling the cops,
Just-
making sure they know where to come. That's it. It's
Just
over here,
double
guys.
tap. Always one in the head.
So you hear Elsie's talking kind of like gibberish to all of you because his mouth's normal. Mendoza's mouth is like there's no disc, there's no teeth. What are you talking about?
It
Yeah,
looked
it looks
horrible. It looked like some
normal to me,
underwater
old chap.
creature. It had distended. It had like some sort of vicious snake mouth with many teeth. It's horrible.
Oh no, snakes don't do that, I'm sure. It sounds like you're describing something more like a lamprey, but they're aquatic, so also not people. So I'm sure you're probably just imagining it, old boy.
There's been some strange things here today, but we're gonna whack it with the cricket bat
Sure, you hit it again. Kind of like thud.
just to make sure.
How's the
Whatever it
professor
is, it's
doing? I want to
dead.
check on him.
He is out. He is out cold.
I want to quickly rifle through Mendoza's pockets and just take as much as I can before the cops that are outside come in here.
Sure. So he does have a saber.
Yeah, I'm going to with my foot just kind of kick that over towards Quentin, like because
Quentin-
we said it was old, right?
Quentin, like this grabs your attention. Like this is an antiquity of centuries ago.
It's +2.
Fascinating. That's that kind of ties in with what we've been hearing today. It does look like there's some kind of legacy cult thing going on. Looks like our Mendoza is a descendant of the Mendoza in the writing.
As for belongings, there is nothing on him. He's just wearing like I said, he's wearing shabby clothes, unkept. His hair is all over the place. He seems to have nothing else on him for belongings when you start
No
rifling
ID,
through.
no cash, nothing
no,
like that.
Nothing.
Okay.
Or whatever. He's been attacking people here at the university.
Yes, this is most untoward.
What come through his mind? I mean, what's his motive here? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
I believe him to be, like I say, a legacy cultist of the conquistadors who were here originally. Probably after the same treasure, they probably attributed some kind of supernatural power to it. That's how cult things like this often work. I imagine that he's probably trying to mimic the effect of some kind of mystical powers or something. I imagine that's probably what you saw, LC, old boy. He's probably discarded the cutting tool he used on the poor girl downstairs. Maybe it'll show up in the police investigation.
Treasure like this, and I drop the staff and kind of step back from it, going, what have we gotten ourselves into, gentlemen?
What does this gold thing look like then? To an historian.
Sure, yeah, you place this thing, boom, heavily down on the table, and your eyes light up, Quentin. You can make me a archaeology roll, anthropology, and it'll be...
Suck outrageously at archaeology, but anthropology, I'm good.
Anthropology, it'll be a hard roll.
Can I have
And
a
that's
look?
-1 or -2?
It should just be this slide, -1.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Jaden?
Can Jaden have a look with art and craft jewelry?
Yes, but it'll be extreme in that case. Extreme. And now you're gonna make me break
Extreme
out
jewelry.
the other book. There's 2 books.
So are we supposed to roll above?
You want to roll under?
Under. That's what I
Did you
thought. I
get
just
it?
give it.
No.
It's given me a little spider, but
Because
my
of the hard
oh,
difficulty you haven't
because that's
passed.
not the difficulty.
So your target is hard difficulty. How much do you want to spend some luck? Will it take some luck to get that through?
A lot of luck.
Yeah,
Oh
do
no,
it.
I can spend 15 luck to pass. We'll do
What-
that. There we go.
Pete's egging you on. Do it. Spend
Do
the
it.
luck.
What it's there for, you know.
Well, I don't have the luck that you do.
Shit.
Well, I don't anymore.
He's
I'm
there,
down to 31.
So yes, I've spent enough luck to get it up to a success.
Yes.
Gwen's gonna go stand outside the room having a smoke. Keeping a look-see out.
You're having a smoke, Jane. You're unable to figure anything out, determine anything further by looking at this thing. I'm gonna say one of you also hands Quentin when he's looking over it. Maybe that note that was found. Or
I
the
did
findings.
earlier on. When
Okay.
he came downstairs, I gave it to him and then ran upstairs.
Oh, okay. So you're looking over this thing. It definitely, to you, like, okay, this is the thing from the story that they took from the pyramid, but undead conquistadors is ridiculous. You've never seen shapes like this before. You can make me a Cthulhu mythos roll.
Oh, hang on. Let me give myself
Quentin.
that skill first.
Get your luck points ready, Ben.
Cthulhu mythos.
yeah.
There's only a few ways. Well, everybody starts at 1% in Cthulhu mythos.
I assume when we
You don't want to pass it, do you?
No, I start apparently at 0%. Oh, it's because I've got it locked. Stupid man.
Sorry, Jaden?
when you succeed at something using luck, it doesn't apply for you to raise the skill, right? It
That
doesn't
is a
count
good
as-
question. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
It doesn't. My
It's
fighting
fine.
didn't highlight.
Okay, Cthulhu Mythos roll. Here we go.
How much luck are you going to spend to make this happen? Ooh, do you have enough?
I might just do. I do
Wow.
actually have enough luck to pass. So there we go.
Yes. So,
Love it, Ben.
in your
Holy
findings,
cow, I'm unlucky now.
you've heard rumor, you've read about these strange otherworldly gods. But every scholar like yourself kind of shushes these things off. But this reminds you of something you've read, something about an elder god or these elder signs. When you look at these geometric shapes, it reminds you of these writings of what's known as elder signs. Nobody really knows anything about them, how to translate them, but you remember now reading about this ancient elder god by the name of Nyarlathotep, and similar shapes and geometric signs being connected to this god.
So lean back. Take a deep breath. Well, my word. Professor has happened onto something very strange. This is mythic. I've seen tell of this in Egypt and the north of Britain and North Africa, parts of Eastern Europe. It's odd. This harkens back to some kind of mythology.
Those places are very far apart. You say it's mythical, but what do you mean by that?
Well, it's not something that the scientific community generally takes seriously.
And you do?
Well, no.
But these people do.
But these people clearly do.
And that's something else that strikes you odd, is that you've seen these shapes, like you said, other parts of the world. Like, what is it doing here in Peru? It's almost identical. But, like, you've seen books and scribblings of madmen related to these shapes and these so-called elder gods.
Bear in mind, most of my studies are related to the Near and Middle East and the British Isles, but this is the exact same sorts of markings that are found in the ravings of the maddest of prophets from all of those places.
Great.
I got
I'm gonna
And yet
slide
here
a
it is
pen off-
inscribed in gold.
Odd. The pyramid in South America.
Well, somebody clearly ascribes some truth to it. And our Mendoza here is apparently the heir of the Mendoza in your note. It starts to make sense now. They're clearly some form of cult in service to these, what they believe to be signs of these powers. That must be it.
I wonder how Mr. Larkin's gonna react to these news.
Well, I'm skeptical that Mr. Larkin didn't know about this, because Mr. Larkin himself attempted to disinterest us in conversing with the professor. And yet here is his companion murdering the professor and his student, the only two people who know about the origin of this artifact.
Well, that's
Strange.
quite a jump of conclusion you're making, but at the same time, I think it doesn't hurt to report Mr. Larkin as an associate of Mr. Mendoza here to the police.
Strange chap. He really stank. Like,
Mr. Mendoza?
no, Larkin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just thinking about last night. He just reeked when I helped him with his coat on. He stank like off
yeah,
meat or
cologne.
something.
No,
no,
he was
no.
wearing. That was terrible.
It wasn't that. His got a waft from up his back. Oh, it's just disgusting. Strange people. These people we're dealing with. I'm gonna take a pen off the table and prod Mendoza's mouth.
Yes. Yeah. You peel back his mouth with a pen. As you do so, his teeth, the teeth inside his mouth, are very, very sharp, pointed little teeth. But his mouth is closed, so it almost looks like he's just got like these rows of little teeth.
Right.
Jaden's gonna go check on Gwen. I'm gonna see if Gwen is all right.
Can I force the mouth open? See if I can.
Yeah, you can take like a couple pens or things like different objects around the office, and you can. And as you do so, the mouth starts to open as you start to open in a circular fashion, and you start to see these rows of teeth. As you do that, the door to the office bursts open, and a couple of police officers come in, shouting in Spanish to stop, and they have their guns drawn.
Tried to stop.
Look, Quentin, look.
And you
I
all
get
think,
a chance to look at what Elsie's trying to show me.
you see it, but you're almost lost. Like with this discovery, like you're drifting away. Like you almost, the things you're saying, Quentin, sound mad to you as you're saying them, and everybody kind of like is disregarding what you're saying as well. It's like it's the ramblings of a madman. What happened to that guy who put on a robe to come into university? But you do glance over and you see this circular mouth that he's opening up in these rows of teeth. As the police burst into the room.
I wonder what Mr. Darwin would make of that. Right, I'm going to British at these policemen. Shall stand up in my robes. I shall put my hands up in surrender. Say, "Hello, gentlemen. Do any of you speak English?"
No, they're just spouting Spanish at you.
Latin, Hebrew, Greek.
They don't seem to respond. Jackson Elias is
Aramaic?
walking over there and trying to calm them down and speak to them in Spanish as you're just spouting off these languages.
I know it's
How
a
is the
long shot,
professor?
but do any of you speak Sumerian?
They do not acknowledge you. They're pointing.
course.
They're pointing at the professor. They're pointing at the bloody saber. They're pointing at De Mendoza.
Is the professor okay? Is he?
You go over and
Is
you
he
look him over.
alive?
He's breathing. He's alive, but he's unconscious.
I think it's probably time, Louis, don't you, that we leave this unfortunate series of incidents to the local law enforcement?
Louis is halfway out the window.
As the cops enter, he's out the window.
Oh. Hey, calm down. Everything's fine. We're all friends here. No danger. No danger. Hands are up.
He's still firing his gun in the air as he's doing
No.
this.
I put that away. I might have thrown it out the window just in case. Just in case. I've been in this scenario before, like 4 or 5 times in my life. It's fine.
Isn't the Spanish word for doctor very similar to the word doctor, though?
I have no idea. Jeff lives the
I'm going to
furthest...
point at the guy on the floor and say, he killed lady downstairs and attacked him.
Good thinking. Yes, if you repeat yourself slower and louder, they'll understand you.
Yes.
I'll lean over to Quentin really quick. Did you get everything you need from downstairs? We might not want to be sending them down there just yet. Did you get everything? The books, the notes?
Did you get the... Oh, you have
I haven't really had a chance to look. I didn't even make it all the way down there before coming back up. We've got the gold, we've got the sword, we've got the notebook, but I don't know what else there is.
Is that all we saw, Matt? With
Yes,
spot?
that was everything
Okay.
of note.
Okay,
You got
okay.
the gold
Yeah,
rod,
yeah.
the notes. Yep.
Let's do what else he's. Let's just back away. Let these fine, upstanding investigators do the job. And I'll be looking at, and I'll be hoping like Professor Larkin is not Professor Larkin, not Professor Jackson. Sorry, Professor's out. Like it's like translating. Like we're just gonna back away. We're just innocent bystanders here. Nothing to see here. We're good.
Of course, I forgot Jackson was there with us.
Yeah, Jackson is talking in Spanish. He's trying to calm the officers down. They're pointing at Louis. He's going towards the window. They're pointing at the saber, and he's trying to like calm them down, speaking to them.
I just thought we might want to get some fresh air. There's a dead body in here, so it stinks up quick. That's all. That's not suspicious. Jackson, come on, help me out here, man.
Yeah, he looks back at you, and he's speaking in Spanish quite fast, trying to diffuse this situation that the police officers have walked into, and he seems to be doing a pretty good job at it as well. They take out their notebooks, they calm down a little bit, they take out their notebooks, and they start kind of taking in the scene asking questions. They're pointing at the body, and they're talking to Jackson the whole time, pointing at the body, making notes, pointing at the sword, making notes, pointing at like all of you, and at like you could tell they're asking questions about all of you. And
Jackson, we'll need to take the sword with us so I can properly date it. Don't let them take it as evidence.
Sure.
He didn't use it on anyone, so why would it be?
He did. He used it on the kid outside.
That was the kid outside.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
stabbed the kid outside.
I suppose.
Jackson, he tries. He does his best when you say that, and the police are not having it. They're already going and grabbing it. As soon as they see one of you kind of go towards it, they go over to one of the police officers goes over to grab it and take it as evidence.
I'll fetch my cricket ball and before anyone picks that up as evidence.
And your bloody cricket bat.
I'll wipe that down on a curtain.
Very good. All right. So the police are going to question the 5 of you for the next few hours via translator. But after that time, you're going to be free to go back to your hotel as they are unable to find sufficient evidence tying you to the stabbing of that boy outside, or young man, I should say, and the dead student in the basement. So we will leave off there because we're coming up to our time limit right now. But we had quite a few things uncovered this week. The plot thickens in Peru with the Peruvian vampires. Let's go to a round table. Let everybody plug everything that they got going on one last time before we call it a week. And then we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Pete, what do you have going on that you want to plug?
Cool. Well, I'll just talk about our other shows on Garblag Games first. We've got tomorrow night. We've got Ranger Squadron, our West End Games D6 Star Wars game that Dan's running. They got it off to a flying start last week, and they're X-wing pilots helping out a Mon Calamari cruiser get back on its feet. On Thursday, we've got Enemy and Shadows Episode 5, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition actual play sponsored by Cubicle 7. And then on Friday, Ben is doing Alien. I'll let him talk about that when we get round to him. And also my Zine Quest Kickstarter Dodeca is, I've just checked it. A few more people have pledged, so that's great. And yes, we are funded. So now it's all gravy and extra art and stretch goals that I'll be putting up on Thursday. And it's a D12 role-playing game with narrative, character creation, and world building. So it's going to be lots of fun, and I'm really enjoying making it. So it's really cool. We've got really good art from Diogo Nogueira and Mustafa Bakir.
Very good. Thank you, Pete. Megan, anything you want to talk about?
No, just a call out to our faithful viewers and so forth. I am not an artist, but my character is. So calling all artists out there, I'm looking for some landscapes in the regionalism sort of genre of paintings. If you need examples, I'd be more than happy to provide them for you. So yeah, if you could put on your creative thinking hats and send them in ready for next time, that'd be great. Thanks.
Very cool. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Very active chat that we've had here, the viewership for the last 2 weeks. So thank you, everybody who's been here, who started the journey with us last week and have continued on, or new viewers who have joined us this week for the journey. You're great. You've been very, very active. Very much appreciated. Caleb, what do you got going on?
Well, again, the RPG Academy film study, so go check it out about Black Cat, White Cat. It includes Scott Brown from Lawful and Orderly, who's a streamer, as well as B. Zelda from the Broadswords, who is quite popular also on Twitch. So I think you can enjoy this episode. You can find them on at the Rollist podcast or on my website, rollistpod.com, and you'll find links to Apple Podcasts and all your favorite podcast platform. And please do remember, I'm almost at 100 followers on Twitch, so please do come follow me on Twitch. Again, it's Rollistpod is the extension for the Twitch. And shout out for playing Star Wars D6. It was my first game. That's what brought me to the hobby, and I love this game. I find it amazing that you're playing it.
Very good. Yeah, please follow him on Twitch. and on
Just putting a
YouTube. He's
link
so
up for
close,
you.
so close to 100. Jeffrey, where can we find you? What do you got going on?
Yeah, you can find me twitch.tv/thelollygaggers. I run a little group called Adventures in Lollygagging. We play various tabletop role-playing games Fridays and Saturdays and every other Monday. You can catch us playing Alien. I'm also on Free League Publishing a lot. So this Saturday I'll be playing some Forbidden Lands, and then on Monday I'll be running Vaesen. So lots of good stuff.
And Ben, tell us about your Alien game.
We like a bit of Vaesen. We played a bit of that recently
It's very
ourselves.
good, yeah.
But yes, on Friday, my all-new primetime slot, I'm having my first go at Alien. We're doing What Lies Beneath, which is set on an entirely aquatic world, and my players have just entered a floating ocean science research base to find it surprisingly empty of people and full of surprisingly creepy, alien-y looking things. So that's looking quite exciting. Really interesting little team with the world's sleaziest corporate agent. We're all just a big happy family.
I don't know if you saw this. I just looked at the Discord, the Garblag Games Discord. During our session, you got the very first piece of fan art that we've received for our game so far. Quentin
I
the Tintin
did see
Vampire
that.
Goose.
Yes. Quentin the Vampire Goose. Thank you, Narrating Zaka.
All right, you guys can find me over on the Free League channel most nights. You can find me here every Tuesday at this time. I was going to say 2:30 Central Standard Time. I don't know what it is. GMT, someone's going to have to help me out. 8:30. And I also have a zine I launched on Kickstarter today as part of Zine Quest. Kill Today, Die Tomorrow, spaghetti western themed, inspired rules light RPG. So close to being backed. We're at like 70-something%. It just launched this morning. If that interests you, I would be greatly, greatly appreciative if you go check it out and backed it and help make this game a reality. Other than that, thank you to Sirenscape for providing the sounds for our adventure. And thank you to Chaosium for graciously providing the giveaways for the next few weeks. And again, thank you to everybody who's joined us for the adventure today. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you back here next week, Tuesday, with us when we pick up where we left off. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.